Hey, Steve Noble Moto. What we're doing today is an oil change on an '05 Springer Softail. This isn't my bike, and I like to do partnerships with people whenever I can. So we partnered with my friend Sleepy over at Moto Stories and More podcasts. So we shot the thing on his bike out in his garage. It was kind of fun to partner with somebody and actually have somebody in the space while we did the video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoy it. Check it out.
Did you call me a professional?
You told me you were.
That was a lie.
Okay. I got it. I was planning this, so I got to get to my plan in my head.
Okay.
All right. So today we brought Steve in because he's going to show us So today he's going to show us how to do a 3-hole oil change, as all the boys call it here.
3-hole, brother.
All the brothers.
Yeah, it's all right. Just start that one again. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So today we brought Steve in so he can properly show us how to do a 3-hole brother oil change and do it properly, so that from this point on, when I'm doing them right. So Steve, what's the first thing that we're going to do?
First thing you want to do before you check the oil or before you change the oil, well, first thing you want to do is buy the oil. It's very important. Other than that, the big thing with Harleys is you want to make sure you start them up and let them run a little bit, because they have what's called a dry sump oil system. That means your oil tank is actually right here. It's not underneath like on a lot of your metric motorcycles. Now on the Softails, on the Sportsters, it's underneath the seats. On the baggers and the Dynas, it's down below. Either way, it is a separate oil tank. So what happens when the bike sits for a while is the oil will drain from the tank down to the bottom of the engine case. It's not really a big deal, because the moment you start it, it recirculates the oil. The problem comes in when you come up to your bike, it's been sitting here for 2 weeks, you check the oil on it and the oil is really low. Or you just jump right into an oil change and you drain it out and you get half a quart oil out of it. That's because there's another 2 quarts sitting in the bottom of the engine case. So what will happen sometimes is you go through the thing, you drain the oil, you put the new oil in it, now you inadvertently have 4.5 quarts in it instead of 3, and you start the thing up, it pumps the oil up in the oil tank, oil comes out your oil fill cap, it makes a giant mess everywhere, it's embarrassing. And then you have to spend hours cleaning up oil. So
what he just said is that was the mistake I was going to make without him being here.
There you go. So the owner's manual will tell you to do it while the bike is hot. Hot's kind of a misnomer. You really just want to start it up, let it run for like 30 seconds, maybe even give it just a wee little bit of oil or RPM there. And if you take your fill cap off and if you look down inside there, you'll actually see the oil start circulating. Okay. And you might see the oil level rise up a little bit. At that point, you're good to go. You can turn it off and start your oil change.
Okay, so we started the bike about 20 minutes ago because it had a little smoke, and we wanted to make sure you guys could see us, so that we should be good to go, even though.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything's good to go. Yeah, if it's been started in the past few hours, it's going to be fine.
Okay. All right, cool.
So the first thing we're going to do when you change oil is obviously pull your drain plug out. That's going to take a 3/16 Allen wrench, and your drain plug is flush mounted right underneath your clutch cover here. So we're going to take a 3/16 Allen up there, break it free. Now be ready, because the moment you take this drain plug out, oil's coming out.
Oh no, don't get oil on my pristine garage, Steve. That was professional.
So you got your oil drain out of there. Now keep in mind, you see this little tick or this little fuzzy thing here? It's not mold. There's a tiny little magnet on your drain plug. So all your used clutch material, used sprocket, chain, whateverness, all that sticks to it. So it's not a reason to be alarmed, but make sure you clean it off before you reinstall your drain plug. All right, now that our oil's drained, we can pull the clutch or derby cover off here. This is going to take a T27 Torx bit. And go around and break all these free before you actually go take them off. Official Harley-Davidson screws. They're $1/4 if you have to buy a new one, by the way.
They do probably have a part number.
Oh, I guarantee it. They probably also say HD on them, too.
It's true. I was really impressed when I first started to even try to get parts for the Harley that you could look back and see parts from like 1928 and they still sell them. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if they don't have it in stock, you can go on Harley's website and they'll give you the part number so you can go down the Google rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They are really good about supporting their old stuff. With the exception of the Italian stuff. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, more than the dealerships are anyways. So we're gonna pull this off of here, and there. You sometimes have a big disc gasket like this, or you sometimes have an O-ring. Varies by year. But we're going to pull that off of there. And this big sucker is reusable. Make sure you put towards clutch.
I'm glad it's reusable because I didn't get one.
No missing parts. Everything looks good. Make sure you have a nice clean gasket surface. Once the oil has been drained out, you can reinstall the drain plug and then add your quart of oil. All right, now that our oil's drained out of there, we got a new O-ring here on the drain plug, and we clean the magnet off. So we're gonna wipe everything clean, because remember, you've got a lot of road grime down here. And this is a fine thread, so you don't want to accidentally strip it on out. Move our drain plug forward. And then you reinstall your drain plug.
So is this considered the first hole?
Yes, or you could call it the left hole, or the one hole. I don't know. It only takes 1 quart of oil along with the transmission. Just run in until it stops. You can torque it to spec if you like. Just remember, it's a drain plug. It's not a head bolt. Just tighten it up. Don't kill it. All right, we're good on that. Next will be 1 quart of oil. Now that we got our drain plug back in, we can put in our 1 quart of oil. Of course, the popular question is, what oil should I use? I would recommend using some that's designed for your primary. It has all those additives and doodads and stuff that I'm not even going to try to begin to explain. But you get 1 quart of primary oil. It even says primary oil on it. Add your 1 quart in a nice, cautious manner that you don't spill it all over Steven's lift.
I like that Harley just lets you just put it through the hole. They're like, you got a 7-inch hole. We don't need to add a spout. Like, deal with it.
Oh, they sell a special little funnel that attaches to that hole there that you can buy at the dealership and says Harley on it.
I was going to say, it definitely had to have the HD on it.
Oh, of course.
And at $79, it's quite the deal.
Whoops, shit. And that's why you have to put it in there, because I just made a mess.
Oh, man, not on my garage.
Oh, it was so clean and spotless. We have now rust-proofed his lift.
So that's it. You just dump the full quart in there, huh?
Yeah, just put the full quart in there. If you're wondering about oil, if you look down inside there, you should see the oil level go up to the bottom of the pressure plate. It's the black disc that's in there, or the diaphragm spring. But it is just 1 quart of oil. Bike needs to be standing straight up. Put it in there, put the cover back on. Don't worry about it. All right, so we have our reusable diaphragm gasket here, clutch, derby cover, whatever in this gasket. We're gonna reuse it. Remember, you put towards clutch. So we're gonna line up with the cover. We're gonna drop the screw on the floor.
You want to start?
No, leave it in there. I love doing that part.
Okay. So now that you got the screw.
Now that we picked the screw up off the floor, you can line up there and thread in there. The nice thing about doing this is now your gasket and everything hangs right there in place. So you can start that screw in there. Don't tighten this thing down yet. Just start it in there. Because what's going to happen is when you tighten this down, it's all going to go crooked. Your gasket isn't going to be torqued properly. Then your Harley is going to leak, and all your metric bike buddies are going to make fun of you. So then we're going to take all our screws, put them in there in a crisscross pattern, just like putting your wheels on your car. And we're going to snug them all up.
This is when the music kicks in. It's like, and like the little bolts just go pop, 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 pop.
So once you have all these started in there, run them all in until you're snug in a crisscross pattern, and then torque them to spec. And remember, you don't have to kill it. It's just a cover. It's not a cylinder head. So while we're over here, we're going to check our primary chain tension. On this Softail, we got a little access window right here. It's the same on the Dynas too. But we're also going to take a T27 Torx bit, take that thing off, and see what's going on with the primary chain.
Once you get in there, I'll move this camera closer.
Yeah. Don't lose your gasket. So you want to check your chain tension here, and you're looking for about 3/8 to 5/8 of slop on this. And that's sitting in pretty good shape.
Go ahead.
If you do need to adjust it, you'll loosen this bolt up here, and then you can actually move the tensioner puck that's down below up and down to set your primary chain tension.
Okay.
You don't want to go too tight because you want to leave a little room for expansion. Also, if it's too loose, it'll make your bike shift weird. But this one's in really good condition. Now we're just gonna reinstall our cover. So put your long screw in the top and put our other long screw in the 3 o'clock position. Start those in there. And of course, your 2 small screws in 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Tighten them up evenly and then torque it to spec. Hi, how you doing? Hey.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so now that Steve has serviced my first hole, we're gonna move on to what?
The second hole.
The second hole.
Which is going to be your transmission.
Okay.
Now, the drain plug for the transmission is in between the shocks underneath the motorcycle. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look underneath, you'll see your 2 shocks, and then in between them, about 3/4 of the way up, you're gonna see a 5/8 headed nut. That is gonna be the drain plug for your transmission. Might be a little challenging to get to, but just take a 5/8 socket with an extension on there. You should be able to reach up, line it up, and lefty-loosey that thing out of there.
We're gonna do our best to get it on film for you. So, all right, moving on to service my second hole. Go for it.
And slide the drain plug out just like that. Our oil is draining. Now that our drain plug is out, you can see our magnet right here. We got a little bit of metal shavings on it. Small amount is not a big deal. That's natural wear for your gears inside your transmission. But we are gonna wipe all that clean, and we're gonna put a new O-ring on this so it doesn't leak. Then we'll be ready to reinstall the drain plug. All right, so we got a new O-ring with our oil change kit. So we'll just thread that down onto the drain plug right there, and then we're good to go. Here's another tech tip for you. In the bottom of the drain plug, there is a 1/4" Allen socket. Now, you might find this is a little bit small for torquing that big drain plug out. You might worry about snapping your Allen socket. But for reinstalling the thing, if you have a long, deep reach Allen socket there like that, it makes it a lot easier to put this thing straight up in there. It's all nice and balanced, then it threads up into place there. Now that we've drained our oil, we reinstalled our drain plug. Now we'll just pull out the dipstick and put our new quart of oil in there. This is gonna take a 3/8 Allen wrench. So we're gonna lefty-loosey your fill cap out of there. Hopefully you don't have an aftermarket exhaust that prevents you from doing such things. Take your drain plug out. Store it in a clean location. Take your funnel. Wipe the crud out of your funnel.
So how much oil does this machine take?
Your transmission takes 1 quart of oil. So you can just carefully pour that in there. Don't overfill it and spill it all over your chrome, or your bike will smell funny when it runs. All right, that's pretty much filmed. Are we still recording?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, just come back in there. All right, now that it's all filled in there, we're gonna reinstall our fill cap, which is also our dipstick. So on the Harleys, when you check your oil, you need to make sure the bike is standing up straight, because that will show the proper level on your dipstick. All right, now that we got our 24 ounces of oil inside the transmission, we can run our dipstick all the way down in, and then run it back out a little bit. Then we can check it out. You may or may not be able to see right there, our oil levels in between the F and the L, so we are good to go. And of course, when you check the oil on this, you want to make sure your motorcycle is standing straight up. That way the oil is level inside the transmission. If you need to make sure with your right capacity or the right oil weight, you can always check your owner's manual for your motorcycle. If you don't have an owner's manual, Harley actually has them all posted in PDFs on their website. Now we're going to change the engine oil on this. We've had it already started up, so we know our oil is all up here in the tank. So now we're going to drain the oil out of that tank. On this 05, the drain plug is straight down underneath the swing arm pivot bolt. Takes a 5/8 socket. Should be able to lefty-loosey that thing right off of there. Just reach down in there, get a little oil on your hands, and lefty-loosey that drain plug right on out of there. There we go. And again, we're going to clean the goo and everything off the magnet, then put a new drain plug O-ring on there and reinstall it. Now we're on the left side of the motorcycle. We're going to change out the oil filter on this thing. Now this is an aftermarket remote oil filter on it, so it still takes the same oil filter as stock, but it's not really in the stock location. Luckily, it's in an easier spot. So you can just grab it and lefty-loosey this off of there. There's going to be oil in it, so make sure your drain pan's underneath it, because otherwise it's going to hit the floor and go all over Sleepy's lift. Look at that giant pile of oil.
Going all over my lift.
Rust-proofing the entire lift and the front crash bars.
You gotta love this guy. He helps you out and rust-proofs everything.
Yeah. This thing is ready for the winter now, covered in engine oil. So in this oil filter, they started re-oiling these seals around here. Because what you want to do before you reinstall the oil filter is you want to put a little bit of oil on this seal. It helps to keep the seal from baking to the case. That way it comes off easier next time. This one's already oiled, so hey, we're ready to go. So just thread it right up on there. Now there's a torque spec for these things. But we can also do, if you look inside the box that your oil filter came in, there's going to be a little piece of paper in there. And it will say something like +3/4 or +1. What they're talking about is from the moment that seal makes contact with the oil filter housing, you turn it 3/4 of a turn more. That's the proper torque spec, not... So just crank it up just tight enough to where the spec that it tells you on the little piece of paper, and then you're good to go. Just like that, got your shiny black oil filter. All the hell yeah brothers are gonna be impressed. Now we can put the oil back in the oil bag. All right, now that all the oil's drained out and we change out the oil filter, we're gonna reinstall the drain plug. Then run your drain plug in until it's tight and torque it to spec. It's already tightened up. Then from here, it's a better.
You can fill the oil bag with fresh, clean oil.
After that, you can fill the oil bag with fresh, clean oil. Now, once we fill the oil in this thing, we're going to take the bike off the lift, put it over on the side stand, and check the oil that way. That is because on the 05 Softail, you check it over with the Jiffy stand. You're going to want to check your owner's manual for your year bike, because on the Evos, some of them you did it with them standing up straight. Some of the early twin cams you did with them stand up straight. Some were on the side stand. So you better double check that.
All right, so we got the motorcycle off the lift. Got 2.5 quarts of engine oil in it. Transmission's full, primary's full. We're good to go. We just start it up, let it run for a few seconds. Then from there, with it on the Jiffy stand, you can pull your dipstick out. And we can see as we drip oil all over Sleepy's chrome, it is right up to the full hot mark. So we are good to go. Now here's a little tip. We don't know if this is factual or not, but here's my guesstimate that we were just talking about. Some people say with the Softails you check the oil standing up straight. Some people say you check them with it over on the side stand. I think if you have a floppy dipstick like this, you check it on the side stand. If you have the straight one, you gotta check it up, stand up straight. I don't know if that's true or not. So I tell you what, if you've got an opinion, you put it in the comment section, start an argument, and we'll go from there. That's all I got.
All right, see if it starts up.
Hell yeah, brother! Gonna crank her hog. Here are compression releases. Turn it on.
All that power needs the compression releases.
Yeah.